Welcome, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to our Vitality Chat. We have a very special guest with us tonight. Dr. Eva has been studying with us for a really long time from the wonderful territory of Puerto Rico. So you want?
Yes, we know Dr. Eva, and she just passed her craniopathic exam, pediatric cranial exam, and we're so excited to have her here. And I'm going to be joining her in Puerto Rico in 2 weeks. Actually, we're going to be teaching together to the students down there. And so we're just really excited to have her here. And we want to share her excitement and her philosophical strengths and constructs with the rest of you here. So with that said, Eva, go ahead and ask her.
Yeah, why don't you give us
a
introduction? Yes, hi, Eva.
So hi, my name is Dr. Eva Sepúlveda. I'm from Puerto Rico, but I became a chiropractor because I moved to California. Before becoming a chiropractor, I was a registered dietitian and I was working in California, not very happy with what I was doing. So when I learned about chiropractic through some very wonderful chiropractors out there, very passionate, I decided that, you know what, this is something that resonates. I really love chiropractic philosophy. And I wanted to become a chiropractor because I wanted to get adjusted every day. I remember the day I decided to become a chiropractor. I was in one of those practice seminars from the family practice, Eric Plasker.
Sure. Yeah.
And he was talking about how chiropractic, because it's reducing the levels of stress, it is actually anti-aging. And I remember looking at my ex-husband and say, you know what, I get adjusted every day. And he looked at me like I was crazy. And then I decided, you know what? I want to become a chiropractor. I want to understand the whole science behind it. So I don't have to get adjusted every day if I really understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, no, you don't have the strength to do it. And I said, you know what? You never say no to a Puerto Rican. You know, we Puerto Ricans, when you say no, it's like, now you're going to watch me do it.
Good for you.
So I went to chiropractic school in LACC, that then becomes SCUHS.
Right, Southern California.
While I was there.
Science, right?
Yes. I started chiropractic school when I was about 30. So I'm 51 now. And because I was an adult with working experience, I took it very seriously. And I wanted to become a leader in the group because really it is a very non-philosophical based school. Or it was at the time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring philosophy, and with the help of some chiropractors from the area, I started taking doctors like Dr. Bill DeMoss and all his friends to school to speak to the students so they could learn a little bit about the chiropractic philosophy that I love. And that's how I became ICA chair, student chair. And because of them, I met wonderful chiropractors and I was aware of all the seminars. And I remember meeting Marty in one of the seminars when I was a student at LACC back in 2007.
I taught there for the ICPA.
For the ICPA.
That's right.
And I found it wonderful because, you know, I never realized you could adjust the cranium.
Right.
And everything, because, I mean, they don't teach us that at school.
Right.
And I was fascinated by that. And that's how I started through this journey of trying to learn tonal work. I really like chiropractic more on the tonal work. And I really fell in love with the philosophy. So I believe that you need to put yourself in a state of energy that you can really help the person in your table, either if it's a child or a mom or a pregnant woman. Or I really working with elderlies too, because aging is beautiful if you can do it well.
Yes,
that is true. Well, it's a very inspiring story. I mean, it's we never know what's going to spark us to take this journey together. And so you started off in California. Tell us a little bit about the stuff you're doing in Puerto Rico.
I have a family practice. I really working with families, and it's beautiful because I've been here for 15 years now. I moved back in 2010 when I got divorced because I want to be close to my family. And I really miss my island. I miss my people. I remember my best friend telling me, if you're going to be working with people, why don't you work with your people?
Mm.
And that resonated. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to go back home to Puerto Rico and to the town that I was raised at. And I'm going to put my practice there. And I'm not going to take traffic anymore because, you know, California traffic can be a little
Especially in LA. Yeah, it's really
dramatic.
Yeah.
I don't know about Puerto Rican drivers though.
Puerto Rican drivers.
Oh my God, they're really bad. I know. I didn't want to drive at first.
Yeah.
So that's how I started.
Well, that's good. A lot of people have a difficult time actually going back to their roots and practicing in their hometown with their family. It's really nice to hear people who can do that because it's very comforting and it's a really safe place to do it if you can work that out and if you could do that and you have that kind of support from your family.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about chiropractic in Puerto Rico.
Well, chiropractic in Puerto Rico is really growing now, but when I started, there were like only maybe 6 chiropractors in my town.
Right?
Now there's over 20.
Wow.
Which is not as much as they were in California. You know, in California,
Right.
You have a chiropractor in every corner. So for me, when I started working and teaching philosophy, because I love philosophy, I have D.D. Palmer and B.J. Palmer on my waiting room. People resonated with that. They wanted something different, something telling you, you know, you can heal. There's other ways of working with health. And there were some resistance always, but because you keep telling the story, they keep coming back. There are some challenges. There's always challenges. And health insurance started covering it. So my practice grew really fast.
That's great.
I was seeing over 50 people a day, really fast.
Yep.
And then after I started taking associates, but they would leave, and then, you know, it's a process getting established. But I decided to become better at adjusting because I knew that if you can deliver this skill, people will always come back for you. Even they can try another chiropractor and they always come back to you.
That's kind of our lane.
That's kind of our lane. If you're good at what you do, people will come.
People will come.
And if you have we always talk about the chiropractic triangle of philosophy, art, and science. And if you have a strong philosophy which drives you, then if you have the art to actually back up that philosophical construct, you're golden. Yeah, I mean, the science is a great thing too for people and for backing up things. But when it comes to the actual practice, the hands-on work, it's about the passion, which you obviously have, the compassion, which you also have, and then the skill, which we also know you have. And those 3 factors will build your practice anywhere in the world, really, anywhere you are.
Exactly. And now it got a little challenging during the pandemic days, but it always comes back. I mean, I always have people, so I don't do a lot of promotion.
And the pandemic pushed a lot of buttons, not just because they were shutting people down, but because you saw how afraid people were when the medical model is forced upon them, like the fear that they had, that, oh my God, my body can't fight this virus and it's going to kill us. And, they just got, the medical model got to push into that lower center, that lower chakra, basically that lower center of fear. And people just worked out a fight or flight. And it really was interesting as chiropractors to try and raise people up, not just through our adjustments, but to make them understand that they can trust in themselves and that it's not something that's attacking them, and to get them out of that fear mode, which is really hard because that's one of the big things about the medical model is it's based on fear. If you don't do this, this is going to happen to you. If you don't take this is going to happen to you. And the ultimate end is if you don't listen to us, you're going to die. And it has nothing to do with human potential. It has nothing to do with salutogenesis. It has nothing to even do with health at this point. It's really just a fear-based model and a sickness model. So,
which is more than ever we had to rely on our philosophy.
More than ever, exactly. But people are hungry for it.
Yes.
Well, not everybody, of course, but some people are, and that's the people I want in my. I don't want to make people commit to me if they don't really believe in what I believe.
Absolutely. Well, it makes life a lot easier, makes the practice a lot easier. And I think people are hungry for something else because they know and they can see that the other model isn't really working. Like, it doesn't really work. I mean, there is sickness care out there, and we're spending literally billions of dollars on sickness care, and people want to know something else.
So Eva, been out in practice long enough to maybe share some wisdom with those people who might be listening to this that are just starting out, or some kind of inspirational story you might have that kind of keeps you going and keeps you interested in studying and delivering.
I've been in practice for 15 years now in my office, like a little bit before I work a little bit in California, but in my office, I've been in practice for 15 years, and I've seen beautiful things happen. I always like kids because you can see the impact are much stronger than an adult. But I've seen it all. I've seen the baby that came at 9-10 months, not even be able to crawl and start crawling and walking eventually really fast. Just the last week, I had a baby who was about to get her lip tight cut. And I told mom, why don't we try before? And he didn't need it. I mean, she started breastfeeding right there in the office.
Wow, that's cool.
That's
awesome.
I love those cases.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that really motivate you.
Keep you going.
And I have plagiocephaly that you can see the baby growing beautifully.
Yep.
And people can't tell that they were. I mean, there's so many stories because I've been in practice for so many years.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great. Those are definitely the things that keep you going. So can you just, I mean, I don't know if the demographic in Puerto Rico is a lot different, but what are the kind of things that you do that keep, besides obviously being good at what you do, that you do to keep your practice going and that to keep you, involved and invested in, and, the patients coming and growing in?
Well, I don't have a huge practice. Like, I don't like to see more than 50 a day because it's for my own health.
That's good.
But I make them a family. I like to treat my people like a family, so they will always come back to you and refer. Yep. So I see a lot of families that they bring the grandbabies and the whole family.
Yeah, so generations. Yep.
Generations. That's the model that I work, because I don't like to spend a lot in marketing.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yes. So that's the one thing that I do. And, I used to do talks before, but they started not showing up. Yeah. So now I do less talks. Right now I'm only doing the talks for menopause, basically. Because it's such a trendy thing and there's a lot of questioning, and because I like to get myself educated, then I'm working a lot with those female groups that are suffering through the transition and because of the toxicity of the environment. I was a dietitian before. I have all this knowledge in biochemistry that I can put into it. And I love nutrition. I love to offer that part too.
You do that?
My practice. I don't do diets. No. I only do like the nutritional support, like, do you want to eat this vitamin? You can go this way, you can try this. Because I have a dietitian on staff that can do the diet part.
That's great.
And I like to offer other things, like, I do lasers because it's dieting. I have hyperbaric chamber.
You have a hyperbaric chamber?
I have a hyperbaric chamber.
We'll use that when we're there.
Yes. So I like to offer other things, but chiropractic is the main thing.
Right.
Because your nervous system should be the main thing, so your body can work correctly. So even in my menopause talk, I start talking about chiropractic. But the first 2 slides are about chiropractic philosophy. And this is why I do this, and this is why I'm qualified to do this.
That's excellent. Yes. Well, we find you inspiring, Eva. We know you've been studying with us for a really long time. We know that your cranial work, you're very advanced in cranial work. Do you want to speak a little bit about that, the kind of stuff that you're cranial adjusting?
Well, I always since I took the ICPA course, I was always interested in the sphenoid and the occiput, and I wanted to take it further. And actually, I wanted to do it because my daughter had an internal frontal, and her mandible, she has one of those mandible expanders.
Yep.
Because her maxilla was jammed.
Very nice.
And I was working on her, but I don't know, maybe because it's my daughter, I wasn't getting the results that I wanted to. And that's why it pushed me to take it further. And I took your seminar, 4 times now?
Lots of times.
Yeah, at least 4 times.
Lots of times.
4 times because, yeah.
Yeah, I think that drives a lot of people when you see your child and you want to help them. And of course, it seems that in chiropractic, it's really that common that your child is always your most difficult patient. You know,
They must
doesn't
be
get to change it. You know, you can see changes in people that you would never think someone's head was run over by a truck, and, you know, 3 adjustments later, it's fine, and your daughter or your child has, you know, an abnormal bite or a closed palate, and you can't get it to change. I think that's just part of the process, you know.
But it's but
It's
there's no bigger motivator.
Well, exactly. And I think that God has a way to drive you through a path.
Mhm.
So it pushed me to continue studying. Like, I'm going to get that
Yeah.
fix. And she's only 12, so I still have a little time to
Still
get
some
that
time,
fixed.
for sure.
And I keep working on her. She's my daughter, so she's hard to work on.
Yep, of
Because,
course.
oh, mom, that hurts. Oh, mom, don't do that.
Especially as she gets to become a teenager, yes, it gets harder.
Yeah.
One
Yes.
more year.
Yeah,
Yes.
you really have one more. Politically, you may have more time, but emotionally, you have one more year.
But it helped me to try to learn more, take
Yeah.
it more seriously, go
Yeah.
deeper into it. And every time I learn something new, I try it on somebody. Somebody will come through the door that needed that
Absolutely.
adjustment. So
Yeah.
it helped me, and people refer because of that.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think that's the thing about learning, that also is the trick behind it, is when you start to learn more stuff, you attract more people that you can help that way, or someone will come in as a challenge that way you learn it. So I think it feeds off of each other. You know, we always think of studying maybe as something for ourselves, but I think studying is also a huge way to build your practice, because you start to attract those kind of people. You attract levels of confidence, you get skill set, and you're right. And then there's a purpose that people come in to see you. I always thought that, you know, throughout my practices, there's a reason this person's in my office. There's some lesson that I'm also learning, not just to be able to help this person, but there's a lesson and a reason why this person's in my office.
Exactly. And then when I was getting very deep into your seminars, I started doing it on everybody. Like, I do SOR on everybody. Sometimes I do press sign and color sign even in adults when they get confusing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if we do it on the seminar, why don't we do
You
it?
can do it on
anybody.
You can do it on
It's
anybody.
there on anybody.
Anybody.
And I love the indicator system. I really love, like, you know, when you get jammed, it's like, okay, I'm not sure about this. Let's do
Mhm.
the indicators.
Yep.
And I go by indicators.
Yep. Yeah, it clears things out. It gives you a direction, it gives you a roadmap into their nervous system, which is what I
And
really like.
the techniques for moving CSF, I really love those. And
Yep.
I do it on everybody that's stressed out, which is every other
That's
patient.
everybody.
It's everybody. It's everybody.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's really good. Like, I'm very glad that I took it very seriously and continued studying with you, because it did make me a better chiropractor. And that's what it's about. I remember that BJ said, you know, you be specific or nothing. Chiropractic is specific or it's
You did
nothing.
say that.
So
That was the big thing about BJ specificity.
Yes.
be
It's true.
specific or it's nothing. So we try to do it as specific as possible and not do too much. You know, don't take it too far. Let innate do its work.
Yeah, you're speaking our language. Yeah, so Eva, we're really looking forward to seeing you in like
2 weeks, right?
Not even 2 weeks.
Not even 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would like to, like, maybe is there one story or memorable experience that you'd like to share before we say good night to you?
Well, today I saw a child that I've been seeing since he was maybe 9 months old, because he had very bad craniocephaly. And his head looks amazing, and his family continue bring him in every other week or every week, depending. Because sometimes these kids, you know, they get clumsy and they get hit
Sure.
in the head, and they're very paranoid, their parents, so they take him in like, he got hit in the head. It's like, okay. And they bring the little brother, and that reminds me, you know, the power of chiropractic and what we do. Even that I see a lot of adults with the crooked heads, and I said, you know what, that's one less crooked head.
There you go.
That is what
it's true. You don't know the path they're going to be on
One
because
health
never.
system,
it's so
definitely.
true.
And the asthma that doesn't present, and the other symptoms that come together, like I have a teacher that just asked me before I came here. I'm home right now. That she had this student who's having anxiety attack, and she said she's a really good student, but she gets blocked when she has all this anxiety attack, and she's being interned, and she's only 11.
Wow.
So I said, you know what? Why don't you tell her parents to bring her in, and we can evaluate and see if there is something that we can do for her, because definitely the nervous system is gonna be all messed up, not order. I think in terms of order and disorder.
Yep.
True.
So
That's
that's the kind of things that I like.
Well, and that's what keep you going, the kind of results you get, people being happy. And it's very, very powerful that you have the skills to do that and make people's lives easier. It's a wonderful gift that we have. And we really appreciate you, Eva, all that you do, all that you share. We're so looking forward to coming to your place and working with you. So
and it's been great knowing you all these years. I love watching you grow. I remember you I do remember you as a student. And then just remember watching you grow and go through those processes and develop to the person you are now. It's kind of awesome to see it, awe-inspiring.
It's very inspiring.
And thanks for taking your time tonight, and we will be seeing you soon.
Thank you, Eva.
Thank you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.